Z-Stream.
I'll do the Z-Stream startage. Am I going to get Z-Stream feedbackage? No, I'm not.
Hello, Z-Stream.
Hey, Z-Stream's up. The funny thing is, people on YouTube are going like, what is this Z-Stream you talk about? And why are you using that strange accent? Because I'm not racist. I just make funny voices.
No, you want to talk about racist? Let's talk about the guy I bought some records from today.
This is going to be interesting.
Talk about the bus and big ears and watermelon.
Oh, my God. This is going to get real. Okay, so you know what? The stream is rolling as we speak, so that means all I theoretically have to do...
Good old regular Archie bunker on
That's
our hands.
Right. That's all I got to do is hit the Z button. Buckle up.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
Welcome, human. I am ready for you.
We show onboard computer synchronization.
Roger that.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Let's rock!
Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
That's the fact, Jack!
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Is this moron number one? Put moron number two on the phone.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
I know that, dude.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Sure, a monkey's might fly out of my butt.
Uh-oh, my heart just stopped. Ah, there it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna go a little soulful this week.
Damn.
Because we're going to play a little show and tell this week.
Something like that makes me want to hang out with a blonde. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn, this is... I wasn't sure what to expect from you because it can, like, go either way. It can be like, you know... and it can go with this.
I couldn't find a song called "Fuck Comcast" on the MBTA too.
Oh,
so,
I see that. Yeah, so that might be out there somewhere. It might be. It might be next week. Huh?
It might be.
It might be
I
next
might
week.
be writing a song right now.
That's right. Hey, it is Sunday, March 4th of the 2018. It is the Dune and Bob Show with Dune and Johnny up in the hizzy.
Yeah. And
that's good stuff, man.
Show and tell.
Show and tell. Now people go like, "What you gonna show?" Dune and Johnny. Not what you think.
This song's all about showing and telling, and
yes,
I think it's more of a.
There was lots of showing and telling. Hey, by the way, for the people that are just tuning in, today's show is brought to you by the letters F and U and the numbers H and P. There we go. That's what today's show.
Notice that was written with marker.
Yes, there's a reason for that. That's right.
There's a backup plan.
There's a backup plan. Hence the backup plan.
Keep a marker next to your printer.
By the way,
you might need a backup.
I got to do something subliminally just real quick. Okay.
He showed up on Twitter and liked a few things.
Just throwing that out there. Burger has been kind of
missing.
He's been missing. Have you seen this burger? I don't know. Well, he's not that burger. He's a burger.
Answers to the name Meat Mouth.
That's right. Right.
It's tasty.
Something like that.
Has meat between his buns, and
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Mars tweets says, "Hey, it's concastic." Yes, it is. Coxtastic. Coxtastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Comcastastic. F and U. Letters F and letters U. Here we go.
Well, today Comcast. Basically, Comcast.
Can you bring it down a little bit there.
Comcast had to work their way through the rich neighborhoods before they brought the lines back up in
no. We are not. We are not going to do the rich poor thing on Comcast. You're going there, aren't you? You're going there.
You know they picked the order that they fixed the towns in. You know there's an order.
Here we go.
You know this town ain't on the top of it.
Oh gosh, here we go. It's going to get all real up in here now. It's going to get the protest signs. Okay, I understand. Johnny, basically for the people out there on the front page, Johnny's stuff didn't work and somebody wouldn't fix it. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. They gave me.
Yes. Go ahead.
The nice lady on the phone calculated that it was roughly $6 for a day's worth of service and offered me a credit for that.
Was that what it was? I mean, it was like all weekend long. It was like I would see this with letters behind it, and it would be like Johnny tweets. Johnny tweets. Now you can add whoever you want from. That's what it was for the people out there.
In my years living here, living in Maine, living in Jersey, we've had lots of snowstorms.
Well, it does that. It gets cold, rain falls, turns into snow, hence the snowstorm.
I've had lots of snowstorms that service continues through. We get a bit of wind, a bit of rain up in this hizzy over here, which people were telling us about with 24 hours advance notice, and all of a sudden, no one can figure out how to make a train work, how to make cable lines work, how to make anything work.
You know what? You can't just say they had one job. They had several jobs. They just sucked at all of them, right? Now, listen, for the people out there, it's Johnny at johnnygators.com. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just throwing that. His Twitter is he's the dude on the bottom here. Yeah. Let's just do the rest of the show. I got this. We're gonna do the rest. We'll do the rest of the show like this.
Who's got two thumbs and a bunch of first world problems?
This guy. That guy right there. That's right.
But you know what I did have?
Not this guy. That guy. That's right.
You know what I do have though? I have a nice glass next to me of wine for peeps who don't like wine.
For peeps who don't like wine, that's right.
And that's a good old glass of bourbon on the rocks.
Oh, man. Yeah, yes. There. For the people who don't know yesterday, that don't follow me, and if you don't, why not? Why?
You should know this already.
You should know this already. That's right. Yesterday,
you should have already heard this joke.
I was going to. I had two different shows lined up for the Five Hit show on Saturday, and I had one that was my. I'll just kind of give you a little run through. Here's the deal. I had two of them set up. I had one that had something like this. Start off with a little Mark Brussard. Great song. Lots of guitar stuff in here. I had all kinds of stuff like this. And I used to play stuff like this on the early Dune and Bob or early Five Hit shows. And then I had this one, which was another one that I was ready for because I thought this. I mean, come on. You got to get the. I mean, stuff like this. So this is the more dancey stuff. So I had that set up ready to go, and I thought, you know what? I'll save that until next week, and I'll go ahead and do the Five Hit show with the guitar stuff. That'll be fun. I thought, you know what? Since it's different, I'm not more acousticy, more alternative kind of stuff. I thought since it's different, instead of the beer that I normally drink, I'll go get wine. So I go to the liquor store, me and my wife, and I asked the lady at the liquor store, I said, hey, what would you suggest for a person who doesn't like wine? What kind of wine would they drink? And she says, oh, I got just the thing. And she points to this right here. And this is it. Cupcake Vineyards. Let's see if it'll...
Cupcake. Does it taste like a cupcake?
I'm going to turn this on. There we go. Cupcake Vineyards, the Moscato de Asada DOCG, which I thought said dog at first.
A dog.
But it doesn't.
Dog wine.
It's not dog wine.
Wine for dogs.
It's not wine for dogs. My dog's wine, but it's not wine for dogs. So anyway, I get this, and I'm thinking, and I think, okay, we'll give it a shot. So I'm doing the pre-show. My actual show starts at 10 p.m. Eastern on Heat FM, and I start the show at 9 Eastern. And I get the cork thing, the decork. What corkscrew? Corker, the decorker, the take corker outer thing. I get that.
The take a corker outer.
The take corker outer thing. And I screw it down in there, and I do the thing, and this is what I end up with.
Huh.
Yeah, you see this broken spot right there.
That's not supposed to be like that.
That's
right?
not. Yeah. There's your problem. So now
I found your problem.
I found your problem. Broken. It's broken. Yeah. So now I'm going like, holy crap. now I have to figure out. So now all of a sudden, the dude code kicks in. I'm out in the garage. I'm getting the vice grips, and this is one of those things. First of all,
this seems like a cordless power drill type of job.
That's exactly what it is. So I'm sitting there. So now I have to figure out how to get a hold of what's left in the bottle out of the bottle so I can drink the wine. And I'm seriously going like, I may have to shove this thing down through here and drink around this. I was really starting to get worried because I'm like 10 minutes to the show, 5 minutes to the show. Luckily, I get down there. I'm able to get a hold of it with some vice grips. And then I'm sitting there going like, okay, I can't set this bottle on the concrete because it'll bust. So now I wish I could. I'm not going to try to do it because it'll hurt myself. But I got my feet close together. I got the bottle on top of my shoes. And I'm pulling up, which is, I can only imagine if somebody was to walk out and see this from behind. What the hell is Dune doing out there in the garage? So
Hunched over, both hands pulling vigorously.
That's right. Yeah, going, and you're like,
almost there.
It's like, oh God, dude's trying to bust a booty pickle out in the garage or something like that. So anyways, luckily, thank God, the poop pop thing, cork comes out. I come inside. I do the show. Now, this stuff, I tell you what, is dangerous stuff because it's so, I mean, it's like, it's almost like Kool-Aid. It's almost like Kool-Aid, seriously. But I found out something, and I was telling Johnny about this. I said, I found out that there's not a lot of wine in wine. There's not that much in here. I don't know why I thought I was going to have like a 2-liter bottle of wine, but it doesn't work out that way.
No, that's the type with the screw top.
That's the screw. I should have got the box wine next time.
There you go. Yeah, wonderful vintage. That was a great week.
Yes. So anyway, the wine didn't last very long. Great show last night. Had a good time. Didn't get too. I was proud of myself. I drank the wine. I drank a lot of water, and I didn't drink any more beer. I stopped. So no headache this morning. So that worked out pretty good. Hey, Talk of the Coast's in the room. I didn't realize that. He's a Scottish dude, so he's I'm sure he's had a little bit of wine in his day.
Let's ask him
a little bit.
What was the better option? Wine for people who don't, for peeps who don't drink wine. The Cupcake Vineyards that taste like the Kool-Aid, or the bourbon on the rocks.
That's right.
Which is the better wine for peeps who don't drink wine?
Yeah, I think you're going to win this one.
Write it down.
I think you're going to win this one, Johnny. Just saying. I don't know. Hey, you know what?
By the way,
you can also. By the way, you can Skype in if you'd like.
Here's Man on the Moon.
Let me bring that up. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. My grandfather worked for the Daily Home News, and we found this in the house.
And all we got with this darn glass. Well, that's cool. Don't drop that. That's actually very awesome.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, if you'd like to Skype in and you just be live for Skype, or there's a number with a 6 and a 4 or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Well, it's right on the screen.
Oh, that's right. It is 9846 NHB radio 9846 642723. There we go.
You have one job.
I had one job. Read the damn number, and I screwed that up. It's right there. It's right. It's right. No, nope. Oh, yes, it's there. Okay. There we go.
The lines on the screen go side by side.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So I got 3 topics today, dude.
Okay.
Which do you want to play show and tell? You want to talk about the state of mass transit in this country?
We can do all. We can do all.
Or do you want to hear about the begging, pleading phone call I got to make tomorrow?
Let's do all. You know what? Before we do that, let's start things on a educational note, real quick. Before I forget about this, since there's people out there, my friend Johnny is a college graduate. He graduated from insert
Lebanon Valley College.
That's right. And
has in Annville, Pennsylvania.
Had a recording degree, music degree, all that good.
A Bachelor of Music in Music Recording Technology.
Yes, that's right. So F you. I don't know why. Why would I do that?
That is such a useful degree in today's state of the music industry.
That's right. You can it allows you to walk into any studio and say that. You can just walk in and yell at the top of your lungs, F you.
I spent 4 years for $20,000 a year learning how to do what anyone can do on their home computer in their own home now. So,
who'd have thunk it? Oh, well, it's one of those.
There you go.
Well, here's what happened. Here's what it is, and I want to play this, and I want to get Johnny's opinion on this. Now, I have to get to the part of the song because songs normally they rhyme, that song, they have rhyming in the songs. Sometimes they get a little funny with the rhymes, and then sometimes I think people get lazy and don't rhyme at all. And I think I was sitting there, and I was writing myself a note, and I hear this, and I go, did I just hear that right? And I had to go back and play it after the show. And let me see. Let's see if I can bring this part up here. What this is Harold Little.
Harold Little.
East of the River. Great jazz song. Let's see if we can make this out here. I will move. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. It's this one here. It's Matt Wirtz.
What's the name of this song?
It's Matt Wirtz. This one here is Like the Last Time. I'm sorry, I had the wrong one. Okay, here we go. Slipping through my hands, but I can't stop it. Yeah, that's what gets me scared. It's my baby. Okay. Seas begin to tear, but we made it once, so we'll make it through again. Yeah. Maybe this isn't the song. Dune, which song was it? Maybe was it Amazing? This is the one. This is the one. I'm sorry.
Who's this by?
Josh Kelly. This is the one. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if you can catch this. You're bringing up times I can't recall, and I'm sure they made your point, but I just can't seem to remember. Okay, so far so good. And I know you got the feeling, and I can't say I'm agreeing with your topic of conversation. So far so good. So just listen to the reasons and the hints that I've been given to the thoughts of my imagination. So come on, let me sing. I said, baby. Okay, I'm realizing that maybe I don't know where the hell this is.
So Dune, you had 2 jobs.
I had 2 jobs, and I've screwed them both up. Where in the hell is that song? This is why I should do my
homework.
I should do my homework.
Now what's this one?
Let's try this one here.
Have you ever had a woman that you didn't deserve?
This is also Mark Brissard.
She's giving all she has, but you still don't got the nerve.
Okay, so far so good.
Settle down, stop running around with her.
Okay, there's 3 in a row.
I should have told her I was trouble right from the start.
Right there! Whoa! Right there! Right there. Did you catch that? Why did I get so excited about that?
Wait.
Okay, hang on. There's three rhymes and then a random word at the end.
3 rhymes.
Yes. See, there's a rhyme.
I should have told her I was trouble right from the start.
Right from the start rhymes with nothing.
3 rhymes and a non-rhyme.
And a non-rhyme. Is that even legal? I'm sorry, it took 3 ones to get it right, though.
Well, here's the thing. As someone that has taken 4 semesters of music harmony to learn all the rules about writing music, one of the things I could tell you as a musician is that there are no rules. And that's why you have to spend 2 years learning all of them.
I'm sorry.
You have to learn the rules so you can learn when it's okay to break them.
I've got to learn the rules. I just got a tweet that says, Dune, can you finish this during a 5-hit show, please? I think that's a nice way of Mars saying, Dune, get back to Johnny saying the FU thing. Speaking of which, Andy Spee, you're on the air. What's up, man?
How you doing, mate? How you doing, boys?
Talk of the Coast Cat is here. What's going on? It's our Scottish friend.
I'm in the house, by the way. How you doing?
Oh, we're trying to, this is me. I just realized something. When I drink, I get songs messed up. I guess I'm not drinking now, though.
You the problem is that you were drinking when you were listening to these songs, and you're not drinking now.
I'm not drinking now. That's the problem. I can fix that.
You need another bottle.
What time is it where you are, right? What time is it right now?
What's that?
What time is it where you are right now?
It's 5:19 Central, 6:19 ET, where Johnny's at.
23:19 right here, right now.
What's that now?
20 past 11 here right now, and we're absolutely fucked.
Okay. You know what? It's funny you should say that, because I'm guessing John's going to use that name or that word a lot in the next few minutes.
We're going to be talking about all kinds of people that are fucked.
I'm actually fucking hammered.
Because this is like from the letters F and U. That's today's show, just to let you know.
Oh, yeah.
That means fuck you then, the whole lot of you.
Well, something like that. I don't think
Thank you. We appreciate our fans.
That's exactly it.
Their encouragement.
Even if they do
their
say
words of encouragement.
Yeah, I'm not being cheeky, but I used to watch you two shows on Vaughn and that, and used to sit back and listen to you and watch you. Not mean, but I've never ever got involved in it. Not mean until I met Joe.
Well, that's one of the things you have to start off slow and then work your way up to calling two guys and telling them to F off. You don't just jump right in. You have to kind of work your way up to it.
No. I open with fuck you.
Yeah, Johnny does. Yeah, I tried to get Johnny to do that thing where he starts off slow and then works his way up to the FUs. No. When he's mad,
in my mind,
big guns.
No, no fucking, I'm not getting involved in that shit. Come on.
That's right. Johnny goes big guns, totally.
You want to fucking, you want to do that, then come on, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. You know what, Johnny, I think you should hire this guy to make the call for you tomorrow. I'm thinking things would go well.
People will be so confused, they'll just start issuing me refunds just to make it stop.
The thought of somebody having to say, I just think it's funny if somebody has to actually put their hand on the phone and say, I need an interpreter to speak Scottish, please.
What you're saying is that I'm from Scotland. I'm fucking born and raised in Scotland, right?
That's right.
You can't understand me.
You can just say that I'm from Scotland. F you.
I just want to fax some bangers and mash over there at this point. Which is probably the wrong country.
Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah. By the way, if you come and do that, then you're going to get a fucking. It's never going to happen.
Oh man, that would be just.
Don't say that, by the way. Don't ever say that, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try. Yeah, we
could know that.
Well, if nothing else, if we come up, we have to have somebody over there to keep us out of trouble. Because we're going to drop your name. You know, we're going to drop your name. And say, hey, we know this.
There's one thing I know about Scott's is that he can beam us aboard at any moment.
Any moment.
Johnny's not making. We'll be in the same room with him.
See that again? Did you say about the Scots? Did you say that again?
that you can beam us aboard at any moment. Wow. Star Trek humor.
Star Trek heart, you know. Come on. It's the only Scottish guy we really know. I mean, listen, okay, I have to ask you a question. Would you rather be known for Scotty from Star Trek or from the Scottish guy from the Michael, what's his name, movies?
No, I'd rather be the person from fucking Scotland because I'm born in fucking Scotland. I'm from St Andrews. I'd rather be there. That's what I'm born and bred.
There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
I like that.
So, come on. If you're not happy with that, then come on, fuck the whole that you said. Don't give a shit.
I heard F the whole and don't give a S is what I heard.
I like this guy. I don't understand the word he says, but I like this guy.
That's right. I like it.
He had me fucking arguing that all night.
It's like, see, I can pick out just enough words when he's fast like that that it makes total sense. But I tell you what, he has great taste in music, though. That's the best part about it.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Great taste in music. It's great show.
I can
great taste.
That's right. All right, man. Well, listen, we're going to let you go so we can get back to Johnny's stories. Thanks for calling in, man. It's good to hear from you.
Thank you for calling.
Piss off, then. Fuck the whole.
Well, I wasn't going to. I wouldn't tell you that. No.
Hey, I was going to let you stay, but he said you got to go.
I'm fucking about you.
Johnny,
I'll remember that next year. I'll remember that next time you come down.
This guy right over here.
Oh,
this guy.
Come on, bye. Cheerio. See you later.
All right, thank you.
Ciao.
Oh, man. Wow.
And that's how you throw your co-host under the bus.
That's right. Tire tracks and all, my friend.
This guy right here.
That's right. This cat down there, that dude is throwing me under the bus. There we go. Oh, man. Wow. So Johnny, speaking of letters F and U, how was your week?
Well, let's talk about song lyrics. I don't know much about songwriting or song lyrics or rhyming schemes, but it's basically a variation of poetry.
Yes.
And poetry doesn't always have to rhyme, much like music doesn't have to always be tonal. So it's really, you know what? The bottom line when it comes to the music industry is, does it make money? That's really all that matters.
That's a very important part. Speaking of making money.
Speaking of making money.
Oh, really?
Let's go on. Finish it on the line. See, that
I had no idea that was you.
That made Johnny laugh. Made Johnny laugh. See,
that was
okay. I'm about to wipe that smile in the face.
Here we go. You got to make it quick. We got to get to Johnny's story sometime.
Oh, this is related.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I want to play devil's advocate here a little bit.
Okay.
They're not on the station anymore.
Yeah, okay. Because it seems like Johnny, sits there and thinks that Comcast singled him out personally to destroy his cable.
They're all sitting around the big semicircle table going like, who can we screw today?
I saw a Comcast van across the street with big wire cutters earlier the day. I swear.
And they also, made his train disappear so he couldn't get home.
We'll talk about that.
He doesn't seem to realize, okay? And Dune, being where you are, you're not, quite familiar with these. Remember, we had the big word up here, nor'easter.
Yes. I heard you had. I heard
a little bit of wind.
Yes,
a little bit of rain.
A little wind, rain.
You
know what? To quote one of the greatest weathermen ever, to quote him, it's just a few flakes.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
That was Bill Murray, by the way, for people who know.
If I may quote a weatherman, Scotch, Scotch, Scotch. I love Scotch, but this isn't Scotch.
This isn't Scotch.
I added that last part.
Just a little bit of wind, He doesn't realize that, they have, it had the equivalent of a Category 2 hurricane. That wind was mean, even in my area.
What's the difference between a Category 2 hurricane and an equivalent of a Category 2? If it's equal, doesn't that mean it's the same, which means that the word equivalent is irrelevant? It either is or it ain't.
It's a time of year.
Oh, I see. One's cold, one's hot, or is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
One has water, one has water that turns white.
But I do want to play a little game.
The politicians that that label them too, because Sandy, when that thing hit New Jersey and New York, that was a fucking hurricane. All right,
this was no Sandy.
95 miles an hour is the same wind.
This was no Sandy.
No, it was close, but they downgraded to a superstorm just so they couldn't have to pay us hurricane aid. That type of crap. But
it's a conspiracy. You got the nutty squirrels there, Dune?
That's true. That's true. I never thought about that. Sorry.
But that nor'easter that came through there. No, conspiracy's done.
There we go.
Venison, I thought of you today.
That nor'easter leveled out 80-mile-an-hour winds along the southern edges of Connecticut, New York State, and got to 55, 60 miles an hour in New Jersey. There were trees down. There were power lines down.
Venison.
Poles down. Everything was down. That's why you didn't have cable. They shut down the entire Northeast corridor. That's why you had no trains.
My main gripe with all parties involved does not have to do with forces of nature they don't have control over. It has to do with communication. But before we get to that, which believe me, we will.
That's right.
I know that Venison doesn't watch a video stream, so I'm going to go ahead and let all those who do watch video streaming in a little.
Here, speaking of which, this is what Sir Mars tweeted me. He says I should try this, the Grey Goose vodka. That's what he thinks.
Mars recommends that.
Mars recommends that.
Oh wow, it's only 495 pounds.
Yeah, that's it. I'm guessing the stuff they have here just is not going to cut the mustard.
Dune.
Yes.
If you're gonna do this, we should do this together. Can you buy a second bottle for me?
Oh, sure. Why not? Because that's just all kinds of cheap.
Wait, Venison, are you watching the video stream?
I'll rate it.
Venison, are you watching the video stream?
Yes, I am.
All right, I have your laptop here, and I'll ship it out once you get settled and I get your address. But I also have a little extra something I'm going to throw in the box just for you because I saw this today and I thought of you. And
oh no!
This is. You ever run into these situations where there's a box of something at a swap meet, and you want to buy something from that box, and that inquiring about the price of the one thing turns into haggling for the whole box because they don't want to sell just the one thing alone and want to get rid of the whole box, and so it turns into a game of I really don't want this whole box. Well.
I see where this is going. I think this turns into you're going to get the whole box, whether you like it or not.
All right. Venison, I only wanted to buy one of these, but I ended up with a box of stuff that has two of them, and they're still sealed. And check out what I found still sealed.
Oh, wow.
And I immediately was like,
wow.
I know a guy that needs these. Like,
pack them in.
He was found frozen to the concrete with a seed with a cassette tape in each hand.
Not any cassette tape. What are those, Venison? You tell the world what those are.
Oh my God, TDK SAs, the best cassette tape in the world.
Wow. What are the
odds? Not to be confused with my brand of choice, the Maxell XL2s, which there were also two sealed ones of.
And does he have anything to play those on anymore? Is that?
Does he have anything to play these on
yeah,
anymore?
Right.
Venison, how many cassette decks do you own, Venison?
72,
20?
something like that.
Well, two of them that are still fully functional. Two that two TACs, that need to be worked on, and. Oh shit! What was the other one? What would it be? Damn! I can't remember the brand name of the other one, but that just needs some rubber gears, and that's about it. But yeah, cassette decks, yeah, I like them.
There you go.
Hey,
cool.
you need a copy of Billy Joel's Stormfront?
Why not?
These are things that are coming in. So I guess the case was part of the deal. You wanted the case, you get the tapes.
Yeah, he was like, "Why don't you make me an offer on the whole case? I'll give it to you for $10." I'm like, I only want the one sealed tape to send to my friend, and I don't want to spend $10. So I haggled him down to $6 for the whole.
There we go. Which, by the way, even in when those were new terms, that's actually probably pretty cheap still. I would have to say those probably weren't cheap tapes back in the day. Those things are probably expensive.
Heck, you know what? I bet you the sealed TDK SA probably brings in a lot more than $6 for a pair of them on eBay. Just guessing. Let's see. Well, someone's selling a pack of 5 of them sealed for $77.
Whoa!
Shit!
Now that's asking. That's asking. Now, what do we know about asking?
Well,
that means jack shit.
So basically, what you're saying is the day after this arrives, there's going to be an eBay ad getting put up for.
All right. All right. As opposed to asking, a 5-pack sold for $30.
Huh. Now then, personal opinion here about the Maxells. After years of trying not trying, but testing and what have you, I found the Maxells to be a little mid-range heavy, and the TDK's a bit smoother. Just saying.
I was listening to my recorded tapes on really cheap headphones on a Walkman on the school bus when I was in grade school and high school.
So it basically sounded like Venison's Skype connection, pretty much is what you're saying.
Yeah, hey. pretty much. I mostly had Type 1 blank tapes. It was when I, got a little extra change in my pocket in high school that I upgraded to the Type 2 Maxells because they look nice with the gray shell. But where did I went to a antique radio swap meet today is what I did. because there's this like Northeast radio club. When I got my Zenith radio, my beautiful, beautiful Zenith radio that I showed off last Monday in the living room, I asked the guy who restored it. His name's Alan, and so and he wanted nothing more than to go to brunch with his wife, and we kept asking him more questions because Seth. It was one of those things where like, every time I say,
will not be denied my question, is what you're thinking.
Have you ever seen someone's actions and words completely disagree with one another? Like, he's very friendly, saying, come in, keep asking me questions, and answering them, being very friendly, while he's putting his jacket on and moving closer to the exit.
Yes.
You know?
And getting the look from his wife going,
yeah,
brunch. Yeah, that's right.
So I asked him, if I wanted to, because I wrote him a check for $700 for the restore job on this console, so I can't keep going at this rate. If I want to keep buying more radios, I'm going to need to figure out how to fix them myself and not just write a guy a $700 check every time. So I asked him, Alan, if I wanted to start getting into restoring radios myself, where would I start? And he said, well, we get the well, he said a good beginner radio for a first restore job is an All-American 5. And so I was like, okay, what was that, 5 American brands, and buy one of the no, the All-American 5 is a 5-tube radio that's a pretty standard cheap model. And he starts talking about, the polarity of the plug, and then you realize he's talking over my head. And
Johnny's like, Johnny's going.
Well, from what I understand, it's the type of radio that the chassis is hot, so you don't want to plug it in and touch it at the same time. So that's a great danger for your first time. So I'm going to need to be really careful. But he basically said, well, the club, you know about the club, right? I'm like, the club. He goes, oh, yeah, it's like the Northeast radio
club. I thought he was talking like a thing to lock your car up with.
Yeah, you lock your radio up with the club.
Gotcha.
You got the big red handle, and no one will steal that. No, they were having a gathering swap meet thing in Nashua, New Hampshire today. So he's like, yeah, next weekend, next Sunday. And, of course, he's going to be out of town, so he wasn't going to be there. But, no, you should go up there and check it out and get yourself an All-American 5 and, get a book and, tell me a few different things to get and ask me any questions you have as he's putting on his jacket and standing at the exit, the door of his house. And so I'm like, okay, I got my task. Go to the swap. So I said, hey, Seth, swap meet, Nashua, next Sunday? Yeah, sure, great. All right, great, we're doing it. And so I drove up to Nashua today to try to find me a good starter radio. And, I'm walking around. I don't know what I'm looking at. And I'm waiting for people to engage me in conversation as I'm looking at their radios like, say, that's a nice radio. Would you like to give me money for it? but no one's... Yes. So that I could say, yeah, this is an All-American 5, because my extent of knowledge is... And I found out that it was good that I paced myself and just walked around a lot, because I'm like watching radios go out the door, and I'm like, the merchandise is disappearing. And it turns out, here's what really happens at these swap meets. The longer you walk around and look at stuff, the price tags start coming down. The haggling start happen, and people are please take these. I don't want to carry them back out to my van. So at some point I saw this big this turntable, the 78 turntable, portable type thing. It has a handle on it that takes steel needles plugged in. The platter is rotating. Obviously it's not been restored, but the platter was rotating with a big old free sign on it, and that was the first thing I carried out to my car. Not to mention, I found out that this is the type of scene that people have records that they don't know what the records that my generation listens to are all about or what they're worth, and people of our generation generally aren't going there. So this is a great untapped resource.
Ooh, we're talking. Are we talking about the Q word?
We're talking about. I've said too much. So moving right along.
Okay. We got to let you go, Venison. Thanks for calling in, man.
Right,
so we can get this stuff.
One last thing, though. I want to give Johnny a quote.
Okay.
Because I saw yesterday the Lego Ninjago movie, which I thought was kind of cool. But there was one character in there that pretty much said it all to me. And while he was fighting off the enemy, he has his turntable set up in his mech, and he's throwing along. And at one point you hear him scream, "Yeah, baby! I'm 100% analog all the way."
Oddly enough, there was a car in a parking lot that had analog for their specialized plate.
I thought so, because analog is the way to go still.
Yeah.
Well,
have fun.
There we go.
Thank you. And Venison, I will be asking you your opinion on these radios tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm walking around, and as prices are coming down, it's like, okay, now it's time to make my move and find me some projects. Now that
it gets so quiet.
That phonograph obviously is a project, but I don't know if it's like the starter project. So whatever, it's free. It's a turntable. I'll get to it someday. And but I need to find my project radio. So I'm at one table. The guy's got a bunch of radios, and he's like, these radios all work, and this radio is a project radio. And it had a $20 price tag on it. And this is the one that his basically he found it in the trash and slapped a $20 price tag on it. And the more I looked at it, the more he was like, well, how about 15? And so I don't know if this is a good first project, but for $15,
well, is that wood or is that Bakelite? Is that which?
This is wood. So
okay.
If I'm going to make it look nice, I'm going to have to also learn some carpentry or woodwork. Or,
here, one word. Here, one word for you. Formbees. I don't know if that's still any Formbees. That was like the big woodworking guy from years ago. Mom and Dad loved Formbees stuff. We had everything that Formbees ever made. Strippers.
I figured.
Wait, that sounded wrong. Paint strippers. Paint strippers. Yes, I'd be careful. Dad was hanging out with stripper. No.
Oh my God. I've got the right quote for this. I actually do have the right quote for this. If only I still had it programmed to a button. Here we go. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go.
It says strip. Doesn't mean you're supposed to take your clothes off.
There we go.
That's right.
Thank you, Tom.
Sometimes it means something totally different.
Doesn't mean take your clothes off.
That's right.
With
the barge. That's right.
I mean, his other radios weren't restored, but they were repaired to working order. Mm-hmm. So he's one of those guys that he gets them working, but they're not restored. They're not in it. So they could be a project.
Some people don't like that though. Some people don't like you jacking with those things. They like it. They like it just the way it is. I mean, they like it to maybe clean them, but that's it.
Well, I mean, anything that's this old, it's probably it's a miracle if it still works. And if you want it to keep working, you're going to need to. I mean, the paper capacitors were not meant to last this long.
I guess it would be fun to make something like, because I mean, now a lot of people take those and they put the modern guts in them. I know, and that kind of
that is because Alan had one of those when I picked up my radio last week. He had this big console with the antique turntable there, and they want it to be retrofitted with a modern turntable, and I'm just like, oh God, damn hipsters. But I didn't want a radio.
Let me guess, a modern USB turntable. There we go. Just
why not?
Why not? If you're gonna piss Johnny off, let's just go all out and just say USB turntable, because that would do it.
Yeah. So
Comcast should get one of those way.
What appealed to me about this was that it's cheap. It's completely not working. So this is like a serious, like ground up project, and this probably won't be my first one, but it's one having a pile of projects to work on. Hopefully, I'll have a workbench in the basement relatively soon. And
basements, you say?
Yeah, well, that all depends on if my landlord lets me out of my lease, and then I could make an offer. But we'll get to that. That's another topic. So then I go to another table who has got an older guy that.
Can I get out of my lease? No. Yes.
We'll
talk about that.
Dune, can I fly you out here for a sit down with my landlord?
No, you're supposed to do this. Could you fly out here, theoretically?
Well, you'd have to check some baggage, though.
Yes.
I don't know what the legalities are of that.
That's right, something like that. It's
something like that.
Yo, my friend here. No, actually, I know just the guy. His name starts with B, ends with Eni Loco. I'm thinking that's who we could send out there to fix this problem.
He's an interesting guy.
Yes, I'm thinking that could fix this problem.
You know what? Did you see mine and Beanie's exchanges about guns?
I saw a few of those, yes.
He did like a total 180.
I don't know if I watched it. I don't know if I watched it that close.
Like at some point, because the thing that gets me is when people are like, I don't want to take our guns away. And it's like, no one's talking about taking guns away. Who's talking about taking guns away? I'm not talking about taking guns away. I don't want to take anyone's guns away. I certainly am not in favor of policy about taking guns away. But that seems to be the knee-jerk. You criticize us for claiming that net neutrality being wiped out is going to do things you don't think it's going to do. And I see that on the other side when it comes to talking about gun control, which we're not going to get into because obviously we disagree on that. But
not gonna happen.
Beanie Loco kept throwing out the memes about I don't want the government to be the only one to own guns, which I don't want that either. I agree that that's a bad idea. There are things we agree on. You don't want the government owning guns. I don't want only the government owning guns. We do agree on this, right, Dune?
Yeah, we had plenty of moments going on there. Yes, we did. just say the least.
Okay. How's your blood pressure doing right now?
Oh no, dude? I'm fine.
You're fine.
No,
you're fine.
I'm fine. No, I'm kidding.
But Beanie conceded that background checks is not a bad idea. I don't know.
No, they're not. That's the whole thing. I think what people have to remember is why sometimes they fail. It's really crappy, the whole background check thing. There's like 18 states that they're not even part of it, which doesn't make any sense to me.
What do you mean they're not part of it?
There's 18 different states that don't even feed into that program. So it's a broken system. It's completely broken.
So we need to fix it.
No, absolutely. And that's the whole thing. There's all kinds of weird things. It's like people say, we have to, when you got people that are out there on psychotropic drugs and all this weird stuff. Well, there's so many different things that are in place to keep them from not being found out about things that you have to, they start going, well, we don't want to cross the line and, start putting these people into this and these people into there's a lot of things I think are going to come out over this whole deal. I think it really will. I mean, there's a lot of different, obviously you've seen that there was, my God, there was just countless different things that should have been flagged for this guy. It was really terrible. Yes.
There's a lot of questions to be raised there. But if you're in agreement about like the background checks need to be in place and we need a system for that, where's the opposition? Why is there so much opposition?
I don't think there is. That's what I can't figure out.
There absolutely is.
But I am a lifetime NRA member. I have never seen anybody say we are against background checks. I've never seen that. There's been background checks as long as I've been alive.
But there's so many loopholes to it. It's completely broken. And any attempts to require background checks or fix that system,
you would have to show that to me because I haven't
resistance.
Because the only time
the
only time I've seen people attempting to break it, I don't think it's what you think it is, Johnny. I really don't. I've never seen anybody opposing background checks.
What is the right now? GOP's got the White House, and Senate. What are they doing to fix it?
To fix what? The background check? It's a state thing. That's where the problem is. There are states not complying with this.
Why? Well, if states aren't complying, why can't we make it a federal thing?
I think that's where you start getting into sticky waters. I think that's what it is. It's one of those. I wasn't expecting this conversation, like you said. Otherwise, I'd have been a little more
okay.
Because I don't want to speculate. I really don't.
So we're talking about radios.
Yeah, we're talking about radios.
See, now this was productive dialogue. We're not necessarily in disagreement.
We're not talking about these, which by the way, are not in
disagreement there.
These are legal now. Oh wait, there. Sorry, those other two. He had it turned gangster style. Those other two shot straight up in the air. Took him a little longer to get down. That's good. Hey, you want a lesson on that? You know why?
Gravity.
They actually. And this is. You're going to still think I'm going racial on this. There's actually. If you ever heard people talk about a gun with homie sights, have you ever heard that term before?
Homie sights.
Homie sights. They actually
sideways sights.
Sideways sights. They actually are. And I tell you what, because there was a guy, and this was a guy who actually knows. That told me, he said, he goes, you don't know. I'm not going to do the accent, Johnny. Just don't worry. He says, do you know there's a good reason why they hold the guns like that? Because, people, gangsters, they always show them on TV with the sideways gun thing. And it has a legitimate purpose. And I don't know, maybe it's partially to look cool, but I think the first cat that did it just happened to be because when you're shooting out the passenger window, you don't want to be bopping your friend in the nose with the shells coming out. So you turn the gun sideways and they shoot out the top that way. Hence the homie sights. And I that's a real thing. I did not realize that. I thought, okay, now I get it. Now I get it.
Who are you making friends with, dude?
Yeah. People that have a lot of those guys. So there you go. I've got all kinds of friends. Just let me say.
Yeah. So back to the radio.
Some are like Beanies, some are not. There we go.
So I need to talk to Beanie.
You need to talk to more.
Sounds like he's more interesting than I even thought.
Oh, absolutely. Beanie's got now he wasn't the one that told me this. This was somebody else, but hopefully he wasn't making it up. I just made a fool of myself, but it makes sense. It's positive. Makes total sense.
I'm sure that's true somewhere.
I'm guessing the first time somebody let one go in a car and it, the hot case smacks somebody in the face. You're probably going to get a little pissed over that. Not to mention
probably.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a solution for this.
We got to fix this. That's right.
Hey, Holmes, turn it sideways.
Either you have to respect this is my window, that's your window.
Right.
Or you have to come up with a system. And I think that's what they did. They come up with a system, and that's what made it work. So anyway, how's that radio doing?
Right. So
for the people just tuned in, going like, what the hell are they talking about?
So the recommendation was to find an All-American 5 for my first project radio. So the cheap project I bought was not an All-American 5 and probably not what I will start on for my first project. So I go to another counter, old guy that obviously fixes radio. And I mean, he's got the radios out that aren't necessarily restored. Not tested or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is a place to pick up a project. So I basically said, I'm looking for a good first-time project. I'm told an All-American 5 would be a good project to start with. And he kind of shuffles some around and
looks around.
And he pats his hand on this thing here and says, there you go. There's your project.
Now, be careful. Now, that's Bakelite.
That's Bakelite.
That's Bakelite. Be careful with that one. That will shatter into a bazillion pieces. I've actually seen those several times on what's the Pickers American Pickers show. I've seen them
American Pickers
because they come in several different colors, and that's a nice looking piece right there.
Yeah, no, it's a good shape. It's not a fun color. It's just a cream white type of thing, but. What's interesting is that you see there's numbers on the top and bottom of the dial, but it's not a 2-band radio. It's all AM. It's just that they got the 10s across the top and the 5s across the it alternates between which needle if you want to dial in at there's that dot up there 70, this dot down here 75. You see, that's just kind of weird how
can you hold it up a little closer there so I can see that there? Yeah. There we go. And please don't drop it. There we go. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So
it's not. I actually, when I first saw it, I thought it was a clock. When I first saw it, it's not a clock.
No, it's an AM radio.
Okay,
an Admiral, and it's in good shape. It looks nice, and it probably won't do anything if I were to dare to plug it in. So there we go. My first project, as far as into the world of radio restoration.
That's cool. I like that.
And tune in tomorrow for Venison's opinion on this.
Which could go. What? There it is. I couldn't see my. I couldn't see my mouse for a second there. It was hiding from me.
So, after that, Seth and I decided let's check out Nashua and find they've got to have places with food that you can have for lunch, and so we did a little. We went out, found a nice pizza place. I had a sausage parm sandwich, and here's the thing. This thing
that would be sausage parmesan for you people out there that don't speak Johnanese. Just throwing that out there.
If I say sausage parm, what would you possibly? What other option is there to think?
I don't know. I'm just helping the people. There might be people that aren't from your neck of the woods
You think I took a sausage to a hair salon and got it a perm?
A perm, possibly, or Pomeranian. I don't know.
Perm.
I don't know, or Pomeranian. I don't know, something like. I do you. I do me. It's okay, man. It's
you take a sausage and you hit a Pomeranian over the head with it.
That's right. Put up. Oh wait, here. I got that.
Par.
I got that. There we go. That's right.
So. Now the thing is that we get back to we took one car out for lunch, so because why take two cars and get separated in a town we don't know? So we get back to the Marriott that this convention's held in, and I'm like, hey, you know what? It's like 12:30. This thing's going for the last half hour. Most people have packed up their tables. Let's see what real bargains we can get in the last half hour, or something like that. Let's take one last walk through. Maybe I still
the final
got cash
swing.
In my
That's right.
I still got cash in my pocket,
kind of thing.
How this can't stand. I mean, there's still cash in my pocket. Clearly, we're not done. We're not done till every.
I came here with this money. This money is earmarked to stay here.
Here's the thing. I didn't buy anything that I was in love with the look of. So it's like, let's at least buy one project I love the look of. Because I got that wooden one, but the dial's kind of it's interesting. But I don't know about it. And then this Bakelite, it's a good first time project, but so the guy I bought the first the cream one I just showed you from, I end up at his table again walking around. I'm looking at some more of his radios because I know he was asking 40 for it. No, he was asking 45, and I talked him down to 35. And I said, "Well, you take 35." He goes, "At this point, I will," because it was already getting to that point where prices are going down. So then I was looking at his table, and I see a nice, that shade of green that was so popular.
That's kind of
another time.
Boom box-ish.
It looks great.
Now, is this still a plug-in, or is this a battery jobby here?
It's supposedly both, but I can't find where the batteries would go. But I found the cord's in there, but there's nothing to hold batteries. So I got to figure out.
There's probably a good chance it takes like a funky looking square battery. There's a very good chance it could have that. Now, what is that thing on the top there? What is
that? There is your rotatable antenna.
Okay.
And it's got a handle, so you know it's portable. And this is an RCA Victor AM portable model in a nice, lovely, like sea green type of thing. The back opens up. So let me try to get that open so you can kind of see what we got in here. Because he was asking 35 for it, and I'm like, no, was he asking 35 for the? No, he was asking 25 for it. And I was like, "There's no way I'm giving the first number in the last half hour of this thing." So, and besides,
right. We'll see how serious he is about this.
so he's asking 25, and so I said, "Well, will you take 15?" And he didn't throw a counteroffer. He just threw a hard no. No, it's worth more than that. And I'm like, I don't know the value of these radios, whatever. I just threw out a number, But it opens up here, and you can see there's a power cord in there. There's also some bare wires here, and no wires connected to the speaker. So this definitely needs some work.
So somebody's had some parts fun with it. Yeah, I would be willing to bet that probably takes a battery pack or something. My dad had a radio that had, it almost looked like a battery pack that was paper, but what it had it was square and wrapped in paper. But what it had was D-cell batteries that were unbranded. That were all soldered together, great big looking D-cell batteries.
Right. A block that had
several batteries in it. Yeah.
So if I figure out,
kind of like a lantern battery, but something like that.
I could probably figure out what voltage it needs and buy like a thing that holds D-cell batteries. And
something you can make it work. That's kind of cool. I'm sure you can find somebody to help you fix that. So that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. So this. Well, I mean, it'll be a future project. So he wouldn't take the 15, and he didn't even counter. But I kept looking at it. And he eventually said, "Well, I'll take 20 for it." And it's like, yeah, that would be your line. Yeah, I mean, 25, 15, 20.
I'm gonna say, does he not watch the show? Does he not see how that works? You got to meet in the middle.
Why did it take you so long to go from 15 to 20? It's 25, 15. No. Okay. waiting. Come on, line. Psst, the script says 20.
Yeah. This is where you talk. This is where you do your thing. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So, yeah, because it's like you do know this is the last half hour here, and you got a lot of radios to carry back.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm saving you that one spot in that box that you're getting ready to pack this into.
Sure. The convenient one that has a handle on it for your convenience is the one I'm trying to unload for you, but still, every little bit helps.
And your wife's going like, how much more shit are you going to drag? Now I had to think about this. Now, I'm guessing, are you somewhere where you drove? At least?
Yeah.
Okay, this wasn't
Nashua.
This wasn't one of the California bus excursions, so that's a good thing.
No, right up to Nashua, New Hampshire.
Because that would be
about an hour 15 minutes
away. That would be
away.
fun trying to figure out how to take that stuff out of there.
So anyways, that's my show and tell, and those are my future projects that hopefully, I plan on making an offer on a house.
So you've actually found something to look at then.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I started looking at houses, as I talked about, because I had no idea how long the process would take, or if you're going to find something perfect. It's like, I'm just looking. There are certain lies that every man tells in his lifetime. Like, I'll totally tap you on the shoulder. We're just looking,
Yes.
We all know these lies.
I don't even know the tap on the shoulder thing just creeped the shit out of me, by the way, Johnny. I just want to tell you that right now. Just absolutely just chills. Got to take a drink of beer now. Anyway.
But we all know these are lies.
Yes.
And so we were... We were just looking, and the housing market and housing markets in general can be very weird how they work. And here's a little quirk I found.
They come and go and come and go. Yes, they do.
Well, no, here's an interesting quirk, because what I found is, I was looking to get closer to Boston, and there's a town called Brockton. That is an area that has cheaper prices for houses. They have a lot of houses in kind of the cheaper range and a lot of the starter house things. And so I was looking at starter houses there, and the starter houses in the price range I was looking at were all fixer-uppers that were dumps. And basically I was told that I would need to either deal with a fixer-upper, which would probably mean getting a construction loan at the same time as getting a mortgage and dealing with the hassle of calling up contractors and saying, hey, you want to get paid? Yeah. Well, the thing is though, when it comes to getting a construction loan, the bank don't give them the check until the job's done. So I'm thinking this is the reason why most people have trouble getting calls back from contractors, because they're all working for the people that have the bank holding the check over.
Well, normally when a bank does that, they're going to have somebody who's a general contractor involved, and they do pay as you go. I've been through that, and it is hinky.
It sounds like the type of thing I didn't want to deal with.
Well, that's the whole thing, is because you have to. You either have to do one, you have to handle it yourself as your own general contractor, or you have to hire somebody, and that puts in another level of,
right.
Another level of somebody who can run off with your shit is what that's what it pulls down to.
And I don't own the scaffolding, as we found out.
Right.
I can only do so much with my screwdriver.
You only got one screwdriver and no scaffolding, and you're kind of limited.
I could fly Dune out here. I'm sure he'd love that.
I think that would be financially just awesome to get a plane ticket every weekend for me to fly out there. I fly out, I work on the house 12 hours a day, do the show, fly back.
Oh, dude, you're not going home till the job's done.
Silly me. Silly me.
Oh, wait. I was supposed to wait until you actually got here to tell you that part.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Right. That return ticket, you didn't look real close at the date on that, did you, my friend? That's right.
I messed that totally up.
That's right.
So that's the town of Brockton. And that's typically a starter house, first time homeowner type of area. So, but I'm looking at the listings that are coming into my inbox on a daily basis from this guy that really wants to sell a house and get paid, and so daily emails with hey, here's what's listed today. Here's what's listed today. Do you know what's listed today? Check these out. And his listings also.
No, go ahead. I just wanted just so I can get a clear view of the guy. Is he, because there's different levels of realtors. You got the ones that say I'm going to use the term $5, or let's say 10. Mr. Realtor, I have $10 I want to spend on a house. That's what I have to spend. Show me houses for $10. This sounds like a car ad, doesn't it? Show me houses for $10. Okay, Johnny, I'll do that. And then you start getting emails. Here's one for $15,900. Here's one for $16,000. Wait a minute. Show me houses for $10. I just wonder if it was one of those cats. Because they seem to do that. They have a number. They take your number, times it by something, and that's the house they find for you.
He's been very laid back. And
okay,
actually,
that's the guy you got. I just wanted to get that up front. Which cat we were dealing with?
He did a little gently kind of do that, because I was looking at stuff. We may as well throw out real numbers. I mean, it's Massachusetts. It's not as expensive as California, but this is an expensive housing thing. So I'm looking things in the $250 range.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically told me that, either I need to deal with a fixer-upper or I need to be looking at something closer to the $270 range.
Just to let you know, $250 here, Dune is living large.
Yeah. I don't think we're...
Just throwing that out there.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Just throwing that out there. It'd be La Dune d'Astudier. That's what it would be. Whoa. Sorry.
This ain't Kansas.
Oh. Yeah.
This ain't Kansas.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the starter house type of thing. So I'm looking at things that are under $250 that are real fixer uppers that have issues and got to be dealt with, and so the listings, you go to the page, look at the listings, and they'll show you on the bottom, like, here are some things in other nearby areas. And so this little tiny house,
I like that. It's sort of like Amazon. If you like that, you might like this.
And so
cool.
something that was right around my corner showed up in one of the listings in Attleboro here. And I was like, well, you know what? We walk over, we take a look at it. What does that hurt? So I basically said, let's take a look at this one, because, hey, I've been doing this commute for over a year now. If I could keep doing this commute and get something here, why not? It's an option. Let's look at that. So one evening, we schedule something for an evening after work. And we take a 5-minute stroll down the block, and it was small. It would be doable, but the basement did not offer storage because that was a tiny basement.
Kind of scary looking basement kind of thing.
yeah. Well, it had temporary.
Do you have to have basements there, by the way, or is that just a extra space?
I don't know.
You don't have tornadoes or stuff like that.
We don't. I don't think it's required.
Oh, no, I'm not saying required. I'm just saying it's something you would want. Like here, you have to have a basement. I'm sorry. You live in Kansas without a basement, you might as well have a house on wheels. You probably do.
That is not a concept I was ever familiar with, but it makes sense to me now that you say it.
Yes.
No, I don't live in fear of the wind.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I just curious.
We get wind. I get stuck in a train. You get wind. You get blown away to thy kingdom come.
That's right. We get a new house. That's what happens. Something like that.
Someone's got to come over, help take the wheels off.
That's right. Dump off the new ones. That's right.
So we looked at. We looked at that. We weren't really in love with it, but it was like workable. The thing is it was a foreclosure that was in not bad shape. Only had like maybe a few holes in the wall that we could patch up. It came with the appliances that were in there.
Mm-hmm.
So now the basement had temporary supports in there. So we'd probably need to get someone in there to put some real permanent
temporary supports as in those metal things with the little screw top things.
The screw top.
That's not a temporary thing, Johnny.
That's not a temporary
thing.
Those
are not their temporary. Those are there forever, pretty much.
Well, he told us that was temporary. We'd want to get something permanent put in there.
Well, I guess you could put another post in there if that's the case, if that's what he's referring to.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying those are very, very common. I mean, that's very, very common to have those in a place.
Okay, that's
as houses settle. Yeah.
This was the real estate agent, not not a contractor. But he's basically saying that was that was an issue. I mean, that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
you're talking points to get the price down, aren't? Okay, I got you.
I don't. This ain't this kind of housing market. I don't know how I mean, but we weren't in love with that. But that got me looking in this town, and it turns out. Attleboro is more of a second home type of town. So most people looking for homes in this town are looking for more expensive homes at a higher price point, which means that stuff that's in the price point that I'm looking at, it exists in this town. There's less of it in this town, and it sells for less than it does in Brockton, which is the cheaper town, because more people are looking for things in that price point in Brockton. Isn't that weird?
That's very strange.
You could get a better deal on a cheaper house in Attleboro because more people are looking for more expensive houses in Attleboro.
Exactly.
And speaking of houses,
NHB, you're on the air.
Hello, my name is Sloan.
Sloan! Oh my God!
Host of the goddamn show.
Are you kidding me? Is this the Sloan? Really? Are you sure?
That's the Sloan.
Look at the 304 and 304.
All right, there we go. I wasn't going to push the button until I knew it was him. I was not going to push the button.
Son of a bitch, Gene Dumper, you prick.
That's it. That's my boy.
Yes. What are you doing?
There we go.
I tried to call in. I tried to remember to call in before you guys started getting too boring. I don't even know what the fuck
then you're
about
an hour and a half late. Then.
Yeah. I was going to say, where were you about an hour ago?
Yeah, that's true.
It's the Antique Radio and House Hunting
Show.
That's
right. Antique Radio, house hunting, and shooting silencers at realtors or not.
Yeah.
Don't be shooting realtors and stuff. They hate that stuff. Realtors, people don't like it when you shoot at realtors, and they don't like it when you light a Roman candle on a public bus.
So the problem is here in Kansas, you go shooting at realtors. The sad thing is right back at you, baby. So you got to be careful.
I just thought of something. What if when I make the house offer, the offer on the house, what if I bring Sloan with me?
That is a
to help with
freaking
the
awesome.
Negotiating?
That is an awesome idea. That is.
I'll help you. I'll help you.
I like that.
I'll do some shit to that house.
Oh, I like that.
Outside, I'll pitch a goddamn chair on top of my van with a bullhorn and say, "I'm going to test the shutter net."
Oh man, that's right. I need 10 minutes, and he goes in there and shuts the door, and then just start humming, and then start humming some really obscure song. Like, what's he doing there? He's testing the bathroom. Leave him alone.
What are you doing, Gregorian chant over there?
You got to be like Robin Williams' character in 1 Hour Photo. Just sit on the toilet and hope nobody comes home.
That would work. That could work too. Oh man, so Sloan, how you been, man? I other than seeing the occasional Facebook post where you like say shit or something like that, haven't seen too much from you.
Oh yeah, I've been doing my thing. I've just been doing whatever, and I was kind of like going through my old archives and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I wonder how Dune Jumper's doing, and I see you're still on the same goddamn network doing the same old goddamn shit, putting up with the same old goddamn fucking listeners in there.
That would be us.
Children now calling in and saying, "Is that Sloan's gonna did he put shit in the microwave?"
That's right.
God,
that's right.
That's great.
That's right. There's got to be people that are going, "Oh my God, it's the Sloan."
Because I'm the Sloan guy. Boy, you got
well, the sad thing is, I actually had a person one time. I'm not making this up. That asked me if that guy who did the voice of Sloan was still around, and I almost pissed myself. I really did because that's the big thing. That's the big thing now. There's a bunch of different shows that they all do like Dune does. I got Reggie Ray.
Hey, Sloan, baby, what's happening? Reggie Ray Valentine up in here, man. I hear you're a bad mother. Shut your mouth. That kind of thing.
You sound like Mrs. Brubaker's husband.
You know what? Miss Brubaker got it going on, baby. Reggie said, hey, that's what happened.
What about Mrs. Brubaker's
mom? So anyway, that's a lot of people are doing. And actually, this dude actually really thought that you were just that was the voice of Sloan. The voice of Sloan. Who did the voice of Sloan? I think is what they actually asked. And is he still around?
Oh yeah, it was Bobcat Goldthwait and Sam Kinnison's love child.
And I really thought that was cool. That made it.
I always thought it was
my
Trey
day.
Dog that did the voice of Sloan. Wasn't
Yes,
Trey Dog the guy that did the voice
something
of
else
Sloan?
too. That was like that's one of my dreams. If I ever win a whole bunch of money, we got to find out where Trey Dog is. I don't know why.
Whatever happened to Trey Dog?
That's right. What happened to Trey Dog? We have to get NHB all ever back together, and if we can find him, everybody else is cakewalk.
Well, not to mention the Rite Aid hippie chick and Neighbor Dyke.
That's true. So we figured.
Shit. You always got to figure out what happened to them. Hell, I don't even know.
I was
actually, you know what? Now that you mention that, here you're gonna love this. Rite Aid chick. She moved to Tennessee and got married, and I think she's a fucking dyke now. I don't know. But Neighbor Dyke. No, Rite Aid hippie moved to Tennessee. Neighbor Dyke, get this. She moved to Los Angeles, and she became an autograph hound, whereas she gets autographs on her body, and then she gets them tattooed.
Wow.
That is not me making up a Sloan joke either.
Now, are you like Facebook friends with her or something?
No, I ain't talked to her in so long. She pissed me off. She goddamn. This is like 20 years ago. Jesus Christ. You know, I'm 40.
What happened to us? What happened?
I don't know what happened to us. I was going through my archive.
Back when I was going to say back
my archive, and there was. Goddamn fucking phone. No, I was going through my archive, and I there was an advertisement for NHC that said something along the lines of like, "Hi, I'm Sloan, and I'm 24 years old." I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got to delete this stupid shit.
No. Well, that's the whole funny thing is you're 40 now. And when I was 40, then the person that played the part of Sloan was actually doing his thing is what's really funny about that. So think about that. You are Dune from back then. Let that sink in.
Oh, God.
Let that sink in. All the old fart jokes and all dust and whatever crap. Think about that. That is you now, my friend.
I guess that means I have to go buy a giant truck and overcompensate for the next 20 years.
Yes,
right?
you need to buy a truck. You got to get a tanning bed. You have to start going to Hooters on Sunday. Man, you got your work cut out for you, my friend.
Wait. At what age does he buy a scaffolding?
That doesn't happen until 50.
I don't know. Nobody told me what age to do anything.
Scaffolding comes at 50.
I own a Harley. That's about it.
Hey, there you go. That's cool.
There you go. Yeah.
Sloan on a Harley. I just
Well, no, because as you can probably tell, I can't get chicks with my loving personality, so I have to figure it out another way.
No, I think Mrs. Wright might be out there somewhere. You just have to.
I don't care about Mrs. Wright. I care about Mrs. Wright now.
There we go. Okay. There. Golf clap for Sloan on that one. That's my boy.
Also, you know what? This sounds like a horror thing to do, and I'm really not trying to, but I did want to tell you something. I did want to tell you all about something. I've been getting into this virtual reality shit. No shit, right? The stuff you put over your eyes and you can just slide around. It's fucking amazing, right? It's like the next big thing.
Where you put the phone in there? Is it one of those, or is it an actual?
No. Well, I mean, there's certain models of phones that you can do that with, but I also have you can buy like real hardware. I have a Windows mixed reality, and it's just fucking amazing. The reason I tell you all this is because there's this fucking place on the internet. It's called Alt Space VR. You can go there. It's altvr.com.
Does it have anything to do with porn?
A little bit. And I'll get to that because it actually doesn't. But it's kind of like it's like the beginnings of a virtual cell phone. You know what I mean? It's not anything creepy like Second Life where you all stand around and fucking talk about, the time you wanted to yiff a goddamn furry tiger or some stupid shit like that. No, it's actual people going there. It's nice. It's everybody getting together. It's really weird, There's
bunch of guys going, "How you doing?" That's right.
Well, but the thing is that they asked me to stick around and do a show.
Uh-huh.
And I've been doing a show there, a virtual show called Sloan's Dumpster Fire.
Okay, now, you know what? Because you have brought this up, it is now It's now imperative that we go to the web.
Wait, so Sloan's been doing live shows again, and we're only just hearing about this now?
Yes.
How did we set about this?
The reason I haven't really said anything because first off, this is a company out in California.
What was the name of that again?
It was called Alt Space VR. But if you go to altvr.com, it'll give you instructions on how you can enter that place through your virtual. So it's got a 2D client too. You don't need to have a virtual device, but you can log on with your computer, and it looks like Quake. That was a burp, but it's first person, whatever.
Okay, well, we're looking at the front page of it right now. It's
it looks fruity as fuck. It looks faggy as fuck. But for some reason they asked me to stick around because I'm apparently virtual reality's first hillbilly.
There we go. Discover and attend live events. See upcoming events. There we go. We're going to click on that.
Microsoft just bought them.
Wait. Okay, I have to ask. The virtual reality church, probably not you.
Fuck no.
I'm just guessing.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of good people there, dude, and I know. Johnny, is that you too?
Yes, Johnny's here.
Yeah, I'm here, and I've just signed up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Anyway, I didn't want you to think I was just talking. Whatever. God damn it! I don't give a fuck. You two shouldn't be doing this shit.
I think what you're missing is we're going like, dude. Thank you for cluing us in because.
Yeah, we're there. We are there right now.
Let me explain to you what's changed since you've been gone. Obviously, I'm still
15 years. Okay, what?
I'm still doing the show with Johnny. The difference is now I do the show on one stream, nhbradio.com, but there's 8 video streams going right now. So you know what I need? I need number 9. That's what I need. 8 streams is not enough. That's just silly.
We are desperately seeking listeners.
Yes,
is what we are doing right now. And
that's right.
Recruiting listeners through every medium available.
It's absolutely.
Everybody's got their own show.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, I got no problem with
everyone's doing shows. No one's listening to shows.
Okay, so we got Rocket Party. We got one called Mingle and Chill, which looks like fun.
I looked everything. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the shit that's there.
Whoa. It's Sloan's Dumpster Fire. Is that the Sloan?
Number 4 on the list, yeah.
Starts in 2 days on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's at Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fuck you, doggo.
Oh, my God.
Where is Doggo these days?
I don't fucking know. He's probably still in Florida living with his mom.
Okay, here we go. Let me read this to the people out there.
Wait. Let's let Sloan talk. Sloan's going to tell us about it.
Go ahead.
No, there's past shows somewhere on YouTube. So somebody else takes the reins and does all that happy bullshit. I don't know anything about it. And they asked me to like provide some content. I don't get paid for it. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Apparently they like my toxicity because they don't want it to be a completely, like left or right thing. They want it to whatever the fuck you want to call it. But, obviously this is a place that needs a lot of balance or whatever. I don't really know how it fucking works. I've been there for like last year and a half just yakking with people, and it's just like how NHB first started off. Yeah, you got people that provide really good content, and then you got toxic fucking assholes like me that show up and say, hey, everybody, fart. And they're like, okay, well, we got to give him a channel just to kind of weed off everybody else. But it's a lot of fun. And, there's past shows on YouTube, which I don't fucking know. We were doing that podcasting entertainment shit before it was popular.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. I'll have to see if we can find this because
it's really cool because you kind of go in there and you just, it's at its base. It's
hillbilly
it's
virtual reality. There we go.
Mm-hmm. It's in its infancy, and I kind of just ran with it because, why not?
It says this video is unavailable. Damn.
Oh.
It might say it's unavailable. You might have to log in for it because the people that I kind of do this for, they consider me edgy, and I'm like, give me a fucking break. I mean, these people, if you so much as spit on the sidewalk, they're like, oh my God, we're going to jail forever.
Well,
so it's nice to have
your
somebody
actual
like
YouTube channel. I found it says you have 1 subscriber but no videos yet.
Well, that's because I
probably.
Just
like I said, I don't promote it. I don't do shit. Nobody else does either.
Well, you are now because you're on the front page with 8 different video sites. So,
everybody! Hi, everybody! Yeah, it's me. It's shit in the microwave ferret.
That's right. That's the guy. That's the dude, man.
I found the Twitter account for this at Cult of Camilla D.
Yeah,
host of
that's my
Sloan's
Twitter
Dumpster
account.
Fire.
Okay, now do you follow at 5 Hit Dune though?
No, I was going to, but I didn't want to just like bomb it on you and be like, "Hey, look at me! Can I have some of your listen? I don't want to be a whore." I can do it right now. I don't give a fuck.
You know, this would make me proud.
All right, hold on. Jesus Christ!
I mean, Sloan is the biggest celebrity of NHB.
As a matter of fact, Sloan, and then tweet something and put at NHB Radio in there, if you would, and then I can. Is
NHB actually I'm looking at the webpage. It hasn't changed since I was still.
Well, no, it's changed. It changed since we did the telethon not too long ago.
Well, I'm glad you do telethons too. Jesus, fuck.
Oh, sure we do. Yeah, you can still donate. We have the big donate button up there. Check it out.
It wasn't a real telethon.
Johnny says it wasn't real. Is there a donate button on the page, Johnny?
Yeah,
then there's a telephone.
And you can donate to it.
You can donate to it.
Well, and we did 2 whole shows, but
yes, we ended up with all the Bitcoin.
And we had
and we had to give some back though because it wouldn't be fair to have all.
We did tote checks every few minutes, and we just kept making up numbers that kept getting bigger. But
yeah, that's kind of the way it works.
And the bigger the numbers got, the angrier Damon got at us.
That's right. So it was a success.
It was win-win.
That's right. Exactly.
Mr. Naysayer himself. Yeah, he just wants us to die at this point, I think.
He wants everybody to die. That poor son of a bitch. He's the most miserable fucking asshole I've ever known. I hope he's not still miserable. I haven't talked to him in years, but my God, it was just fucking miserable as shit. Let me tell you something. When I was doing my show and stuff, I was no spring peach either. I was like a really insecure fucking retard. But it was just awful. It changed so much, but Christ, he hasn't changed at all. Damon, if you're listening, we all miss you, but you're a miserable cocksucker. Hope you don't die.
Well, of course he doesn't. You would never wish something like that on a person.
No, of course. No, we love Damon. We love Damon, but he. Yeah. Wait.
Hello.
Everyone went quiet.
Did you hear that voice?
Hello.
What?
I heard a voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys are out of content again?
No, it's better than that. Sloan.
Hey, Sloan, say hi to Damon.
Oh, fuck. Hi, David.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening. This is a real deal here. Damon from Brio, Sloan.
Oh, holy shit!
This is it.
The former general manager of No Holds Barred Radio,
and the guy
Damon Fabrio.
and also the guy who used to do Sloan's voice, as a friend of mine said. Yeah. Asked one time. Damon, I don't know if you heard that part. Somebody
did.
Somebody asked me if the guy who used to do Sloan's voice was still around. So,
wait, I never did.
Yeah,
Sloan's voice.
No, they were talking about Sloan. They actually thought that was the voice that he was doing.
Oh.
There we go.
You guys potentially have caught me at a not so good time.
Oh, okay. We're sorry about that. Anyway,
we'll give you a moment to pull your pants up, and we'll.
No, that's not. No, yeah, Gators. That's you wish.
We wish. Well, if
did he call him, or did he call him? What are you doing, Damon?
No, I called him. I added him to the call.
I'm in the middle of something. Like I'm sitting here with my cousin. He's helping me with some stuff related to music gear, and
We got it. We'll let you go. Hey, listen,
it's okay, Damon. If you don't have time for Sloan, we understand.
That's so harsh.
You never had time for me.
That is. Oh my gosh.
Gators, why are you being a dick?
It's what I do. Have you listened to my show? It's what I do. Have you watched my Twitter account? It's what I do.
Wait, Gators, you do a show?
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, I do a show. I do a show called
Insert title here.
The show that changes show names so often I had to put a placeholder.
I'm trying to get him to change the show to Mondays with
Hello, motherfucker.
But he won't go for that.
That might be what we fill the title in with, because at this point I fill the title in with something different every week.
There we go.
See, I got out of internet radio and I haven't looked back. I forgot you guys were even on the air.
Oh, man, so harsh.
Yeah, well, me too. That's why I called in. Damon, I will let you get back with you. You're still a miserable prick, and we love you.
All right,
Take
Damon.
care,
Thanks for letting us bug you.
Hey, Sloan, go drink another beer.
Trying to.
Okay.
All right, Damon. Take care.
All right, I'll
man.
talk to you guys later.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye, Damon.
Well, anyway, so Sloan, you have to let us know when you do that again. Or I'll have to tune in, and I guess
it's Tuesdays.
Can you do this without virtual glasses though, or is it like stupid if you don't?
Yeah, it's got a 2D client. You just install it, and then if you know how to play like first-person perspective games, you can move around with your keyboard and a mouse,
I'll have to learn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, either that or an Xbox controller, but it's easy to move around. You go in there, you say hi to people, and every Tuesday at 9, I get up there and I scream at people, and they seem to like it. And it's just like the old days, except I'm not getting laid near as much as I used to, which is none. But whatever.
Well, you do what you can do.
So it's like playing Doom, but without a gun. And with Sloan talking.
Oh no, it's like playing Doom with the screen off.
Okay, all right, that works.
This is a win-win. I'm telling you.
I'm in. I'm so glad you're not on a Mondays because I'd hate to go up against that.
No,
I would definitely be tuning in.
There's so much content everywhere.
So there we go. It says if
you guys can have some fun. I'm going to get the hell off here and get some dinner ready. But I followed you both on Twitter. It's good talking to you guys again. Maybe I'll talk to you again. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just glad I remembered to.
Well, of course you
call.
will. Of course
Damon,
you will.
you suck dick, you prick. I hope you listen. You son of a bitch.
We'll send him that message for you.
All right. Thank you for calling in,
guys.
Sloan.
Great talking to you.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There we go. The voice of Sloan live on the air. You know
that's actually not far off from the truth.
I'm giving that an excellent. I'm giving that an excellent on Skype.
Because anyone that listens to the show knows that it's Jeremy Clovis that does the voice of Sloan. I mean, I
guess that makes sense.
So yeah. So that is Jeremy Clovis, voice of Sloan.
Voice of Sloan. I never thought about that. I just I suppose
it's just we've never put it that way because the voice of Sloan also happens to be the voice of Jeremy Clovis.
That's right. So surprisingly enough, it's the same voice. It's just one of those weird things that that you figure out sometimes.
He does a perfect spot-on impersonation of himself.
That's an awesome idea to make things easier. I never thought about that. So
you're going to have to write that one down.
Dune. I could say, thank you, but I could say playing the part of Dune is Dune. Or Dan. Dan will now play the part of Dune.
Dan will play the part of Dune.
So what was that again now? What was that quote so I can write that down correctly? I don't want to screw this up.
Someone will have to tweet that in because I don't
somebody
remember
tweet that
what I say
in
right after I said it.
The two old guys just completely forgot what the hell they said 30 seconds ago. So I'm putting
it had something to do with like Sloan being himself.
Did it have the letters F and U in it? Possibly.
So I guess
or the numbers H and P.
I guess the point is so we'll get to the FU
or the subliminal.
The point is I found a house in Attleboro that I want to make an offer on, but I have to beg my landlord to let me out of my lease first. So, how does that work? Does that usually work out well or not?
Well, I think you take the approach, you walk in.
Hello, motherfucker.
And then you start talking.
Yeah, because on the one hand, it's like they got you over a barrel because they could say you're legally required to keep paying us monthly checks until October 1st. On the other hand, is it in their best interest to force someone to stay in an apartment that they know doesn't want to be there and will be leaving soon? It's like you're losing me anyways. Work with me here.
I'm trying to think of a win-win situation here. If it wasn't for that pesky deposit.
Well,
I'm
they
thinking,
don't have a deposit.
I'm thinking you've got a place open until October. There's a guy I know that needs a place to live. Name starts with V. Innocent in the end.
He's going in the opposite direction now.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking.
No. Well, no, but here they don't have a deposit. They just have the last month's rent. So, I mean, my thought is I just tell them, look, whatever, keep that. We'll hold on to the place till April. That gives me a whole month to move my shit. First mortgage payment wouldn't be due till May 1st anyways, and we'll give you plenty of time to try to line something else for May. Will you go for that? Will you go for that? Please go for that.
Well, tell me this: have you actually checked the legalities of it? Because I think if maybe there's some sort of clause somewhere where you can do something like that.
If there's legalities that say that leases aren't legally binding, what would be the point of a lease?
Well, I don't mean it that way. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't.
I mean, it's a question of will they be cool or not. I mean, they could force me to stay here till October, which would put a kibosh on the whole thing. But then they're going to lose me in October anyways.
What is the market like there? Is there a lot of people looking for rental houses? That's the big thing. I'm guessing in California, if you had this conversation in California, you'd probably get shit for it, but they want you gone because they know they can get somebody else in there and jack the price up for $200 more.
Here's the thing I can tell you that gives me comfort, although I don't know the details. All I know is we went on vacation one week, and we came back, and the upstairs apartment was vacant, and it didn't take them long to fill it. And the person moved in above us the same time we did. So if they had the same 1-year lease that we had, they definitely left before the lease was up. Now, was it their shit disappeared overnight and they skipped town, or was it they got let out of the lease early? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know, but that's what I do know. So yeah, I have a phone call to make on Monday because once I got the pre-approval and once I said I want to make an offer, the guy was like, hey, why don't we meet over at the house in 20 minutes so we can get you to sign some papers? And I'm like, dude, I need to make sure that the landlord's not going to hold me over a barrel before I sign anything. And he's like, well, there could be some activity over the weekend. We want to get the offer as soon as possible. I'm like, dude, pencil me in for tomorrow evening. I appreciate your speedy service.
I appreciate you're trying to get it into the wire.
But do you really want me to make a mess for you? I mean, come on.
Yes.
This would not be good for any of us. So he's not happy that I wouldn't meet him tonight to sign papers. But it's like, come on. But here's the other. Hey, let me run this by you, Dune, see if I should be worried about this or not. And I'm not too worried because people are saying things, and at some point, there's before everything's final, there'll be a house inspection. So if I really do need to be worried, that'll come out in the house inspection. But one of the things that you do when you're looking at houses is you go to the town office so you can get a file of all the permits and things that have been pulled on the property, so you can see what work has been done when, to give you kind of a general idea of a background picture of this property. And the first place we looked at, there was plenty of permits, so we knew that the roof was put in 2004 and things like that. And Kristen went to the town office, pulled all this stuff, took notes while I was at work. Wonderful wife. And the file for this house that we're looking at, it was redone recently, and there was a lot of new things in there, new roof. I mean, there was
this is the one that's the foreclosure, right?
This is the one that I'm putting the offer in on.
But was the house a foreclosure?
No, I don't think
that was a different place. That was a different place you were talking about then.
The foreclosure was a place that had the temporary things that was kind of small.
Saying,
and we didn't
you're saying this place was recently redone. So basically, who bought it before you bought a flip house? Possibly somebody had already done the work on it.
This is a flip house.
Okay.
This is the one we're looking at making an offer on is a flip house. It's been redone recently, so it was done to and you know what? I almost get the feeling like someone that has a similar mindset to my landlords redid this house, because all the upstairs bedroom have pull strings in the middle. So I feel right at home here.
This is going to be no big deal for you. You're going to slide right on into this. That's right.
I asked Seth about it today because his dad's an electrician. I'm like, how hard is it to put in light switches into place if I don't want to have pull strings? And he goes, you know what I would do? I'd get those, smart light bulbs that you could just kind of remote control turn them off on, and then just take the strings off. And I'm like, you know what? That's great.
That's something you could do. Those aren't the cheapest things in the world. Now, what year was this place built, by the way?
That is a question. And while I pull up a website, so let's talk. So here's the thing. All this work was recently done in the house. So I figured all this permits for this work that was recently done in the house will be in the file there, and we'll be able to see all this work that was recently done to verify. There were 2 pieces of paper in the folder for this house. One was for an asbestos roof that was put in 1977, and the other was for some type of a waiver for someone to run a business out of it 2 years ago, which obviously went tits up. No permits for any recent work. So I asked them, this roof that was put in, my any chance was put it on top of an asbestos roof that's still sitting under there? And they go, no, they stripped the roof. I'm like, okay, well, where's the permits for like asbestos removal? I mean, what's, why are there no permits for this work?
This is one of those things.
Should I be worried about that?
When you get the inspection done, that cat will take care of all that. I hope so. They'll believe
I'm
me.
Relying on that.
They'll find. Well, you'll get just make sure you get it. I mean, somebody who's reputable. I don't know. A lot of places don't have to have the inspectors. Don't have to be. I don't think in Kansas there is an actual inspector's license. I don't think there is, but some places have it. I mean, you'll obviously find somebody who's a reputable place. It's not going to be cheap. I'll tell you right now, and you have to pay for that. I mean, that's not a cheap thing, but.
Well, my first offer is going to be I'll pay the asking price if they pay the closing fees. Okay. So that's the first offer. This house was built in 1938.
How long has it been on the? Oh, so 1938. So it's going to be plaster walls then, obviously. Hence the pull strings. Unless it all depends on the rework, because a lot of places that had plaster walls, they'll take and put even. The really thin drywall over the top of it. Now I don't know. Of course,
so you're telling me this is going to be something that I don't want to screw into?
No. Well, it's going to be what you have. You have plaster now.
Everything's going to crumble apart.
Yes.
As soon as I try to.
Yes.
Which I did make it work, but it wasn't pleasant.
No. You have to drill through it and to make. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Well, I mean, I made it work here. I did make it work here. Because I was able to get something that I mean, heck, I got a towel bar up in my bathroom, and most of the hole is covered by the piece that you put over.
Well, yeah, you have to be very careful. It's definitely not an easy thing, but you can make it work, and once it's your place, you can fill the hole yourself and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, this has been on the market for 25 days now, and they did lower the price about a week ago. So I mean, so it hasn't exactly. It's not just on the market.
Maybe if you think about it, send me an email with the link, and I'll look, and I'll. Not that I can. I mean, because that could be your ace in the hole as you're walking around. You can pop a few pictures, send them old Dune, and I can tell you, I can give you buzzwords to throw back at the cat.
Oh, that would be great
for stuff like that. Like, well, is it central heat and air, or is it a boiler? What kind of heat and air does it have?
Forced air. There's an oil tank in the basement.
But is it actually still using oil, or is that there's an oil tank left over in the basement?
No, oil.
Ooh, really?
Really?
You have an oil-fired heater in there.
Yes.
So you have to have heating oil brought in.
Yeah. Right.
Now, is that a common thing in that area?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know these things. I mean, if I hear somebody saying
some places have it,
heating oil, that just sounds very, very, very old. Now, they do make new oil-fired heaters. They do still exist. You can make them. But...
I mean, the furnace is. I don't. It's not old.
Well, it's like here in the Midwest. Obviously, we have abundance of natural gas. So that's what they use around here. So that's
I prefer gas, but I have been seeing a lot of these properties come with oil, and I don't know why that's common in some of these areas, but but then to redo that to be gas, looking at
it depends on the price of natural gas there. I mean, it may not be conducive. It just really kind of depends.
No, it would be. It would be. It's just that I'd have to have the house converted over for that, and apparently that would be an expense.
Well, and so we're talking window air units, then basically.
I don't know. Anyways, let me send you a link.
Okay. Okay. Because see, that's like the two most important things: heat and air. That's what Dune wants to know about. Am I going to be warm? And am I going to be cool? That's what I want to know.
I got window AC units, so I'll be cool.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I figured. If it's forced air from oil, it's probably not. It's obviously not central air. Because if you're going to put central air in, it'd be central heat and air, then you wouldn't have to worry about any of that. So
I sent you a link, but I don't know if it's going to work. Let me see. Yeah, that'll work. That link should work.
Did you email it to me?
I emailed you.
Okay.
I did email it to you.
I'll check that after the show and take a look and see.
But I think Sloan called because this was a boring topic, so I just wanted to finish it up quickly, and here we are still on it.
Here we're still talking about it. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
We like that.
One odd... there's an odd thing, and this isn't the site that I found a listing on, but the site I found a listing on said that it comes with a pool.
It comes complete with snow. That's awesome.
No pool. There's no pool. That was an error. But this listing doesn't say that. But the other site that I found it on said that it had a pool. There's not enough property for a pool. So I don't know what the fuck they were talking about there. But I wasn't looking for a pool, so I didn't question it.
So is that a driveway beside it?
Yeah, it's got a driveway.
Okay, I think I could
fit.
Is there a garage? I don't think I got that quite that far.
No garage, just a driveway. Barely any property. No yard. There's a front porch though. Who needs a yard when you got a porch?
Oh yeah, you can do the rocking thing. You can sit out there and
one and only bathroom right next.
Now is that a single family home next to you, or is that a multi?
I think there's a multifamily on next to it.
Okay. Nope, that's cool.
So
I'm digging that. I love the color of the woodwork. That's very awesome.
Yeah, it's got some nice... I mean, it was done to look nice, but it was also done... Like, you see the ceiling fan fixtures on the first floor. They are remote control, and they put, like, these mounting brackets on the wall where they slide the remote controls into. So, once again, no light switches, but you got remote controls in the downstairs and pull strings in the upstairs.
Well, being built in the 30s, it's going to be... Gosh, it's hard to say. I mean, it would have been knob and spool retrofit. And actually, from looking at this, the ceilings, see, it almost appears to have been drywalled. I can't really tell. It looks pretty smooth to be plaster, but I could be
Well,
wrong.
I'll fly you out here with your scaffolding, and just check that as carry-on.
I can say, hey, who is this guy that you have here? now, does it come? Do you get the appliances with it? So you get the black bulbous range and refrigerator.
Yes, it comes with a fridge and a stove.
Okay.
No dishwasher. Now the first place that was too small.
And I like this because you can wash, cut onions, and then if you have to, take a shit.
Yeah, that's one and only bathroom
is right. Oh, that is the one and only bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that is so old house. That is absolutely old house. It's just the way they are.
A lot of these houses I'm looking at have one and only bathroom, but at least this one doesn't have a skinny path that you got to be this skinny.
Yeah, that looks like
that
bathroom looks like a guy of our size could get through there pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the first house you had to shimmy through a space I could barely fit through to get to the tub, but the toilet paper holder had antlers, so that was a pro.
See, I'm thinking that right there is pretty cool.
That was the first house.
There's an attic, which looks like it could be fun. You never have to go explore that.
Yeah, well, as you can see, the rooms do have the slope starting, so it gives you a feel for how much of an attic there is. But
now, is the room up top with the vaulted ceiling? Is that the master, or is that a radio type room? What would that be?
Well, there's 4 bedrooms. There's 4 bedrooms upstairs, and the 3 of them are about the same size. I mean, 2 of them are larger than the other 2, and there's one that's smaller than all 3. And the small one would be like our storage area. But Kristen will take one, I'll take one for radio, and we'll take one for master. I don't think we've quite decided which is which yet. A lot of it has to do with where the records would best fit. Because as you notice that along the wall you got like baseboard heating, and you don't want to put record shelves along a wall that's got baseboard heating. Yeah,
that could get a little weird.
But I suppose one could turn the small upstairs bedroom into a bathroom at some point.
I see. So this was just sold literally just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it was a fast turnaround. Like I said, this place is redone on the cheap, and here we are looking at it, and it looks nice enough that I could be comfortable there.
No, it does. Yeah, it's a nice looking house. The colors.
Dune,
the colors not.
We got like 10 minutes left, and we've not said a single "fuck you" moment on this show.
Oh, okay, let's fucking get to that. I'm sorry.
We had a little.
Yes.
We had a little wind and rain on Friday.
Just a little bit, yes. Let's get to that.
Just a little bit. But, Gator's got to work. Now, I could have worked from home, and a lot of times if the weather's going to be particularly bad, people will encourage me to work from home because they know I come from far and take the train. But we had one guy that was out in Ohio supporting another branch who was actually supposed to be flying back. He didn't get to fly back till today, so there goes his weekend. He probably would have traded places with me in a heartbeat because I actually got home at the end of the day Friday. So word out to Victor.
That's right. Sorry, I was. You said that way too fast. I wasn't ready for that. But there we go.
He's our taco specialist. But one day someone changed the signature to say that. So we work in a fun place.
Yes, there we go. I like that.
It took him about a day or two before he realized every email he was sending out said he had taco specialist. But
there we go.
And then our supervisor, the leader of our team, he's on vacation. So Gator's
now I understand. Now it makes full sense.
We be down 2 guys. So Gator's working from home for a day. That would be like all kinds of oh hell no. So I dragged my happy ass out of bed, got myself on a train, and got myself into a situation that I didn't know if I was going to be able to get home from, and worked. And I saw at some point during the day trains were delayed by half hour because of a tree being down, but they got the tree cleared, and trains are starting to get to be a normal type of delayed by like 15 minutes or so. Okay, great. Let me go get on my 4:30 train back home from Boston to Attleboro and see what happens. I get on the train. And, it gets out of South Station, stops at Back Bay Station, people get on, stops at Ruggles, people get on. And then as we're getting to the first stop where people are going to get off, they make the announcement, folks, there's some police activity in Mansfield. So the train's going to be stopped at some point, and we don't know for how long. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. So if you want to get out...
say police activity, you're thinking...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking right now. Something like that.
Well, here's the thing: is that I know that they have a history of calling something like we have a switching issue or we have a signal out, and then you find out the next day that it was not a switching issue or it was not a. They just make up shit, and so they said so. So this is the first thing they were calling it. We have some police activity in Mansfield. The train's going to be stopped. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. We don't know. So if you want to get out at the next stop, it might be a good idea to do so. And I'm like, yeah, but what am I going to do from just outside of Boston? How am I going to? I ain't getting whatever. And
now this is on the way in or the way home?
The way home.
Okay, gotcha.
So then Route 128. People get out. And it continues on, and then the next stop is Sharon. We got into Sharon. I mean, it went a little slower than normal, but we got into Sharon. And then folks, just want to remind you, there's some police activity in Mansfield. Our train's going to be held. We don't know for how long. So if you want to get out of the train here, you might get out here. But once again, what am I going to do when I get out of the train from Sharon? And part of me is like, well, I could, call Kristen and tell her to drive over here to pick me up. But I mean, Kristen's not the most comfortable driver, and it's a dark,
and snow outside too. Yeah, I was going to say this is not a great time to have somebody on the road for sure.
We didn't get any snow. It was only rain and wind.
Okay,
but it was still
crappy.
I don't like driving in rain and in the dark. I'll do it, but it's not fun. I mean, that's a double visibility issue. So I stay on the train and figure whatever. They said 2 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, Police activity. They find the bullet shells. They get themselves out of there. These police don't want to be out here all hours of the night. How long could... Yeah, so we stop outside of Mansfield. I'm watching some YouTube clips, whatever. And at some point, we're going to pull into Mansfield. And you might want to get off the train. If you want to get off the train here, you can, because we don't know how long we're going to be stopped at Mansfield. So now this is the point where we're sitting in Mansfield. And at some point, I'm like, all right, Mansfield's one town north of Attleboro. And at this point, I'm like, should I get an Uber? Because they keep on telling us there's police activity. But at this point, it's not at the station. What, there's a bunch of police hanging out down the tracks in the middle of nowhere between Attleboro and Mansfield? What the hell? I pull up the Twitter account. Their Twitter account's calling it fire department activity.
Ah, somebody's being funny, aren't they?
So at some point I tweeted at them in response to their fire department activity, just what in the fuck is going on? And they said, well, there's a line down and we have Amtrak out trying to work it. And I'm like, well, how come you keep calling it police activity or fire department activity? Why didn't you from the start say, there's a line down, we need to call a crew out here to fix it, and it's going to be hours? If you said that from the start, you know, I could have, because at this point, so I'm like, you know, do I take the Uber or are they almost done? I mean, are they almost done or is it going to be longer? They won't tell us. I mean, people on this job probably have an idea of what point of the job they're at and how long they're hoping it's going to take unless, you know, something goes wrong. But, you know, you work on something, you have a general idea of a time frame, but they don't communicate that. They don't tell us jack shit. They just, you know, so I'm looking at the price of an Uber. Uber's like $25. And I'm like, do I? Don't I? It's $25. You know, I'm trying to buy a house. And, you know, that could buy me a lamp or something. Or, you know.
or a new radio. or two.
Yeah, you know, that too. So it's like, and then, you know, announcement comes on. Folks, we're going to need to turn this train around, take passengers back into Boston. So everyone needs to get off the train, and the train that's stuck behind us is going to pull forward, and you all get to cram into that train that's already filled with a bunch of also angry people.
Also happy. So, I was going to say also happy customers. There we go.
So they kicked us out of the train into the dark, stormy, windy night to wait And on the way out the train, someone's asking them, when's the next train coming? Oh, it's right behind us. We're just going to pull it forward, and it's just going to come right up. And I said, yeah, okay. And I said, yeah, but when's that train leaving? Well, as soon as we get out of the way, it's going to pull forward. When's that train leaving Mansfield for Attleboro? We don't know. You don't know? Thanks for nothing, jackass.
Hey, just so you know that a person whose name starts with V and ends with Innocent wrote in and said, you should have stayed home, and then he used the word...
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
And then this.
You're grade A, number one, bona fide first class. You're a dumbass.
There we go.
You're a dumbass. And you'll be one all your dumbass life.
There you go, Venison, just for you. For you.
I already explained why staying home wasn't an option in this case.
No, I understand that. This is... He sent the message. I thought it'd be nice enough to tell it.
If we were fully staffed, you know, thank you, Dune. Yes. So when the MBTA says the train's right behind us and it's going to pull right up as soon as we pull forward, what does that translate to? You know, you figure what? All right, we get off the train. You know, 5 minutes, the train's empty. They pull forward. 5 minutes, and the train pulls. No, half hour. They basically kicked us all off the train to wait a half hour out in the windy, rainy, whatever. And the way that the train didn't immediately pull forward, that's when I was like, fuck this shit. Let me figure out how to get to a road here. And I'm like giving Kristen the play-by-play. And she's like, I'll get in the car. I'll come out there. I'm like, yeah, that's the last thing I need is for you to get into a crash. And then I got to worry about my wife
that
in the
would be scary.
Somewhere. You know,
no, I have to ask, the price of Ubers, does that go up in a situation like this?
Funny you should mention that, because I think you noticed I actually proclaimed loudly. Everyone around me probably wondered.
I did notice that there was also Uber was not with this U, but it was this letter in front of this letter. Is what I noticed. Yes. I noticed that.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yeah,
for the people on the radio stream, I was pull up the letters F and U, just so you know.
Yeah. Remember, I said before we got kicked off the train, I was looking up Ubers and they were 25. I looked up Ubers and they were 70.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now I understand the FU Uber. Now I understand. Now I get it. Now I get it.
So at this point, I'm like trying to come up with, well, no, it's too, we're going to have to keep talking while you loop a bit.
Yes. Okay. We can do that.
So at this, I'll try to wrap it up. So at this point, I'm like, well, I ain't paying $70 for an Uber home. Whatever. Maybe this train will come forward, and maybe it won't be much longer, because the more you wait, the closer you get to the point that the line's fixed. So when the other train pulled forward, I crossed back over to get online to get on the train, but the doors didn't open right away, and people are just standing everywhere looking like they can't figure out how to walk forward. And I'm like, you know. So I pull up the Uber app. It's gone down to like, $40. I'm like, okay, all right. Let's see what it gets down to by the time I walk to the other side of the tracks again. So I walk the other side of the tracks, and at some point it got down to $28. And I'm like, okay, all right.
75 to 28 is pretty good.
Yeah, 75 to 28, not bad. And but you have to keep looping the music because this Uber drive was hilarious. And I already told you how hilarious it was. You want me to get to this part.
We'll pause this is what we'll do. So go ahead.
I put in the Uber.
We'll go a little bit over. It's okay.
The Uber's like, 15 minutes out, okay. Mm-hmm. And it gets closer. You watch on the map, it gets closer. And before usually if you get a call from the Uber driver, it's when they've already reached very close to the area. He's like down the street from me and my phone rings. And I'm like, hey, is this Jonathan? I'm like, yeah.
Wait, was this a drunk Uber driver possibly? I don't know.
That was not the substance I was going for.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, man. So I'm on like Main Street, and you're on such and such street. I'm like, I'm at the train station. You're at the train station? I think I see a train station. I'm looking at this big apartment building. Yeah. There's an apartment building next to the train. Oh, okay, man. Man, this GPS sucks. Do you know this area? I've never been to this.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh because it's amazing. It's amazing how far down your standards go when you really want to get somewhere.
I was not going to cancel this Uber ride because he's on the other side of the building I'm staring at. I'm behind the building that you're talking about. The big, I'm turning into the apartment complex. I'm like, yeah, but there's a fence between that parking lot and this road. Huh? Oh, yeah, I see. I'm like, so I walk my happy ass across the street over to the fence and try to see if there's like an opening on the other end. I'm like, well, I'm walking along the fence. I'm looking for an opening. Hey, man, I think I see you walking, man. Is that you? I'm like, brown hat, black jacket.
Waving my arms, possibly. I don't know.
Sure enough, a car drives up, and he starts, following me along as I'm walking. I'm walking down the fence. He's driving along the parking lot, and we're hoping that this is open at the other end. So sure enough, we get to a point where the fence is open. I can't feel my fingers at this point, so navigating a phone is challenging.
Yes.
I'm soaked. I'm cold. I'm wet. The wind's blowing every direction.
And you don't give a crap. All you care is this guy has a car and a place for you to sit.
Yes,
that's all you care.
I like, yeah, there's your car. That looks like a mighty comfortable interior in that car. Oh my God, I am so gonna enjoy the interior of that car. And sure enough, fence is open the other end. I walk around it, which is the problem with walls.
Yes.
I don't. There are some people that don't understand the concept of walls, and you get to the end, you walk around. But I understand this concept, and that is what I did. Getting around the border quite easily.
Sorry, I was slow.
Apartments.
Sorry, I was a little slow on that one.
Bam! So
you're lucky I'm in a good mood. You're so lucky I'm in a good mood.
So I got in the car, and we got on our way, and he's like, yeah, man, this town, the roads are so confusing, man, and this GPS sucks. And through talking, I find that my good friend here, my best friend in the whole universe at this moment, is on his second day of Uber driving.
Wow,
which makes a lot of sense.
He's new. He's new to it.
Yeah, he is absolutely new to the concept of GPSs and Uber and cars, I think. But he hasn't figured out that the check engine light means that you should do something about it.
No, that's just a suggestion.
But okay. I that check engine light's probably been on long enough that I could that if it was going to be a problem, it would have stopped by now. So we're driving back, and we're getting there, and we're making small talk and all that, and it's navigating us back roads because the highway is just gridlocked with rush hour traffic. And as we're getting there, we're 10 minutes out, and so I tell Chris that, hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And just after I send that text, we get the police car that's straddled across the road, letting us know thou shalt not pass. And Mr. Newbie Uber driver doesn't know how to deal with finding alternate routes when the GPS keeps on going, it's right there. Just go straight. you turned right, and the GPS is like, "Why'd you do that?" Here, we'll get you turned around and get you right back there.
Let me fix that for you.
Yeah, their fix is take the same route that you can't take. So I had to pull. I actually had to pull up Google Maps and navigate this guy in an area I wasn't familiar with either. But we found another road that wasn't closed, and we go there. It's like, yeah, man, thanks. You're being so cool about this, man, because some of the drivers will blame you. Some of the passengers will blame you for things. Like last night, I picked up this chick at the airport. It took me a while to find it there, so it took me 18 minutes to get there. She gets in the car. She's got this attitude. She's like, dude, your car smells like weed. Does my car smell like weed? I'm like, no, I don't smell any weed. I mean, I do have weed in the car, but you can't smell it. It's in glass jars. I don't smoke on the job.
Sorry, I thought a little mood music might just fill the void here.
And so I just realized this guy, he's like, I don't get the big deal is. It's legal in the state now, right? I'm like,
well, not to have in the car, just guessing. Just a wild guess, my friend. Just a wild guess. I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past.
I thought this was odd to be so open about the jars of weed in his car. But when I thought back at this, I can't help but wonder if he was fishing for a transaction. If he was looking for me to say, you selling?
So let's say you have 5 jars of weed. And if I get out of the car, you have 4 jars of weed. What would
How
the
much
math?
Of a tip do I need to give you?
This is why I should have this ready. There we go. I should have that ready right there.
So I think this guy was using Uber to deal.
Not sure. Not sure. We're not totally sure.
I'm not sure. Here's the thing, though. This guy's car was not as well kept as I had hoped for, because when I got home, Krista was asking me, "What's with the big brown stain on your pants?"
Oh no!
And,
no! No! Oh God!
It soaked through my pants to my underpants. But I did the laundry and it all came out.
Humiliation.
So
there we go. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is how I got home, and
with your extra jar. Big moment, yeah. That's right. Now I have to wonder. You probably wouldn't have cared so much had Homeboy hooked you up, I guess. So there we go.
I didn't ask. I didn't make a purchase.
There we go.
I don't need that here.
And from that back to that, there we go.
I get enough of that from the neighbors downstairs with the fumes that come up through the floor.
Wow. There we go. So people, if
bowling balls upstairs, pot downstairs.
Bowling bar, that's right. Party. What's that? Party in the front? No, business in the front, party in the back. Oh no!
Bowling upstairs, pot
party downstairs. I like that. That one I'm writing down. That one I'm writing down. OWLING upstairs. Pot downstairs.
Downstairs.
STAIRS. There we go. Done. In the bag. Oh man. So there we go. So listen, peeps, don't forget tomorrow you can actually tune in and hear the full story in its entirety. Because
I might have abbreviated some.
I have to reprimand you just a little bit. You didn't ask him if you wanted to be a co-host. Dude, come on. I mean, think about it. Vamp has chicken fingers. Big pot smoker. You could have had whatever his name is.
He was funny, but he wasn't funny in that kind of a way.
Ah, I see. He was funny as in I'm laughing because I have that uncomfortable laugh. I want to make it home in one piece.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I was happy to feel my fingers. I wasn't thinking about show material or hosts.
Go ahead. I dropped my leg.
I was just thinking about how great it was going to be to get home and sit in front of my computer and use my internet. And you can hear all about that tomorrow.
That's true. also on tomorrow's shows, Johnny's show is also brought to you by the letters F and U. Also tomorrow, by the way. Just
communication, people.
Just saying.
Communication.
It's a beautiful thing. And by the way,
you're providing a service.
Subliminal.
For.
Here we go. We're checking to see if this works. There
Is
we go.
he alive?
There we go.
Answers to the name Meat Mouth.
That's right.
He's tasty.
Got
meat between his buns.
That's right, and got a tongue made out of bacon. That's right. Let that sink in. There we go. So don't forget nhbradio.com. That's the site. Use it often. Use it wisely. Tomorrow, Johnny and that one show. And that stuff. Vamp comes on.
Insert title here.
Yeah, Vamp's on Tuesdays, as far as we know. The Shocker guys, we'll see.
They got Windows 10. They're figuring it out.
You know what? Vamp may be on Tuesday. He may get preempted for Sloan. We'll see. Huh?
Just saying.
That's right. And
We're kicking you off.
That's right. It's a Saturday Outlaw Radios. Saturday night, 5 Hit with Dune. Sunday, we come back around to this. And then, I don't know. That's one of those things. Be safe, people. Take care.
Good night.
Game over, man.
I'm glad that's over.
Man, that was awful.
Boy, I know. You know what I hated most? What? Everything stunk.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Let's blow this joint.
It's time to blast off for Dreamland.
Don't go away mad. Just go away.
Let's call it a day. Everybody, go home.
Good night, lady.
See you later, alligator.
Go in peace. Sin no more. I'm out of here.
Now, run along and play with your little toys.
Oh! It just gets worse and worse.
Please come again.
I have exorcised the demon. This house is clear.
Not.
That's all, folks.
We are leaving.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Oi, shoot the radio.